I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be talking about the Uniqlo single strap backpack, which is essentially just a sling, and I've been testing it for the last 3 weeks. Be sure to check out the review with the link down below, and let's get into it. So starting with the exterior fabric, we have a ballistic nylon. So it's nice and durable. It's pretty thin and flexible, but it's, it's pretty confidence inducing when you're out and you're using it on a day-to-day basis that it's gonna hold up pretty well. These straps here are polypropylene, so they are also pretty flexible, pretty soft. They were comfortable to wear and to use. The buckles here are cam plastic, but they feel really sturdy and durable. So I didn't find myself using that a ton. When I had the sling on, I could get it on and off pretty easily without needing to use the buckle. So I just kind of slipped in and out, but if you wanted to use the buckle, you can use it anytime. I just found that it was a bit easier to just take it off entirely. So these Ykk zippers here attached to these 3 different zipper points. So there's one on the back here, this quick grab one up top, and this main compartment zipper in the front. So starting with this back zipper, this opens here, and it's this pretty flat compartment. I use this primarily for my phone. So there's a bit of mesh here that's polyester. It's pretty soft and cushy. You can see it there a little bit closer. It didn't add too much padding, but it did prevent me from feeling my phone if it was in there. I actually had to double check a couple times to make sure that I brought it with me. So everything here, I would recommend keeping pretty flat items in here because there is enough space in the other zippers to keep more rounded items. So this top zipper here, you can keep a pretty good amount of stuff in here. I kept a mask, some chapstick, headphones, and there is a key lash here, but it's really short. You can see it's only a couple inches here. So I never really used it, plus my keys are pretty bulky. So if you've got one key, it's handy, it's pretty secure, but I wouldn't, I never found a use for it only because I do have quite a few keys on my key ring, and it limited the amount of space that I could fill this pocket. But these items here were nice to have on hand at all times. Going into the pack itself, you can see it opens pretty wide. You can either flip it open, or if it's on you, just this is enough to get to these items. So I have my keys and my wallet, and that's pretty much all I carried with me. If you're more of a minimalist and you don't feel a need to carry a ton of stuff on you at all times, this bag's great for that. But if you do like having a pretty packed purse, then you're gonna start getting a little bit, it's gonna start getting a little bit tight, and it is gonna get a bit wide. So this kept it pretty sleek for me. There are 2 back pockets here that are equal sizes, and it can fit my wallet just fine, but they're really tight and they're really close to this top seam. So say, you have this pack on and you open it, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna grab my wallet. It's a little bit stiffer to get out and a little bit tougher to get back in. So I mean, it's kind of a sense of preference at that point, but I did find that I just would rather throw my stuff in here. I know where it is, I can get to it when I need it, and then I'm good to go. Because it is a sling, it's on an angle, so just kind of keep in mind that just if you do have loose items in here, they could all fall to one side, just based off of, nature of gravity, but it's not something that was ever a huge deal, and it never really affected the look of the pack. Of course, if you have more items in here, it is going to start to, ball up on one side. But if you do only have 1 or 2 items in here like I did, then for the most part, it works out pretty well. So The zipper pulls are convenient to use. They're always close at hand. The one thing I will note is that this fabric here pulls up and kind of buckles in. You can see a bit closer here. So it's, instead of covering the zipper like it's supposed to, once you unzip, you'd have to actually make an effort to put it back in place. But then the next time you open the zipper, it's back open. So at that point, I didn't really mess with it. It's not aesthetically awful. If you don't mind zippers, it's not gonna be a huge deal. Looking from the outside of the pack, it does give it more of a zippered look. And so if you wanted something a little bit more sleek and minimalist, obviously that's something that would be a little bit more inconvenient for you. But this zipper here is completely covered and hidden. The pull does stick up straight for the most part. You can always tuck it in, but again, it's kind of a sense of preference, right? Then you have to grab it, open it. It just kind of hangs out. It's not really hurting anybody. It's just a little bit of an eyesore. As for the straps back here, there are strap keepers that keep this extra material in place. You can kind of adjust them as needed, but what I usually did is I just left them at the very, very end, which kept kind of a straight look with the sizing that I needed. They did move around a little bit, so they would come toward the buckle again, and then these little straps here would kind of flap up, which you can kind of even see that there's a bit of the buckling in the material. So it is a little bit of an aesthetic thing. The bag wears really well, so it sits either on the front of you or on your back. It's totally preference in what you think is, stylistically more your vibe. I wore it a lot on the front just because I really do like the sleek look and the color, but if I wanted to put it on my back, it slings around really easily. I never had any issues with it ending up where I didn't want it to be. If I had it in the front, it was pretty much in the front. If I put it in the back, it stayed in the back. So overall, I really enjoyed using this pack. I think it was a really good day-to-day sling for me, just because I don't carry a lot of stuff around with me, and sometimes it's just obnoxious to have to carry a bigger purse or try and find a smaller purse, and I wear a lot of sling bags, so this worked out pretty well for me. The color's very nice, and overall the material felt pretty durable, and I was comfortable taking it pretty much anywhere. So there you have it, the Uniqlo single strap backpack. Check out packhacker.com for more information and the best buying options that help support the channel at no additional cost to you. Link down below. We'll see you in the next video.